going to slide. Okay, it started. It's just going to start within a minute.
Sure. Maybe you can turn off your screen right now. You can put the poster, and I'll post whatever happens. I'll post on chat.
Okay, just a second.
Gaurav, you can also record the whole video.
Sure, sure. Rakesh, please mute yourself. We can talk on chat. Let's let Gagandeep and Doctor speak.
Yeah, sure. Okay, thank you.
That's okay. Invite the people first.
Guys, we are live. You may continue.
Okay. Hi, good evening, everyone. It's directly live from India. So we are having here with us Dr. Kinor Shah. Okay. So today we are all together here for the event that is Global Interdisciplinary Summit 2020. So moving ahead, I'll be telling you about the doctors that are all added to us under the title World Top 100 Dentists. So Dr. Kinor Shah. He's basically the founder of this title, the World Top 100 Dentists. He's basically a practicing dentist and an entrepreneur from Palm Desert, California, and a traveling healthcare provider. Dr. Shah has been practicing in more than 300 offices, moreover. And as a businessman, Dr. Shah has built numerous co-brands, private labels, and peer-to-peer partnerships in the healthcare industry. So moving forward with Dr. Kinor. So I think you need to unmute yourself. Yeah.
Hey, thank you for having me, Dr. Gangadeep. How are you?
I'm all good, sir. Tell us more about the title, this World Top 100 Doctors, as well as Global Interdisciplinary Summit 2020.
Yes, we'll get started with a comprehensive overview about the Global Interdisciplinary Summit, as well as the Global Institute that we have created dating back to 2014. Thank you for the brief introduction, and like to get started with a comprehensive overview of the summit. My name is Dr. Kinor Shah. Friends and colleagues, thank you for joining us today as we kick off the Global Interdisciplinary Summit online. All sessions will be complimentary, meaning free. And I have a little bit of an echo here. Do we have somebody that is unmuted? Can we mute all of the other?
Yeah, I did that. Dr. Shah, you need to unmute yourself.
Very good. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Go ahead with it.
So today we will cover the history, the mission, vision of the organization, the sessions, how to register for the CE, and answer any questions you guys may have so we can prepare you for this event that is going to last for approximately 6 weeks while we have time to reflect upon our practices, our families. Unfortunately, during these COVID times, we have been unable to do what we love, as to practice dentistry. But we can use this time wisely for learning new concepts, techniques, technologies, methods, and maximize information exchange between our colleagues with vital information. So before I get started with the history, as well as the concepts and the Global Interdisciplinary Summit itself, I'd like to give you guys a little bit of personal advice, in my humble opinion, as to what you can do at this time to prepare for when our practices open up again so we can be stronger than ever. I have built or helped build over 30 startup practices, and most of our practices currently are startup scenarios with a list. A lot of us don't particularly have that skill set to work with startups, and startups work a little differently. It usually take about 6 months to get back to what we call the normal. You have to be very wise in the way you open up your practice, depending on what type of practice you have and what type of patient pool. You have to create a blueprint for your practice. Every practice is a bit different. And this blueprint has to have all the ideas about calling all the patients that are on a short list, that have had emergency treatments, that are mid-treatment or have had treatment plans completed. I would spend some time on that. In terms of marketing, it's very wise to do what we call sampling in the business world. And you guys have done a lot of sampling in the past in your practices, and you know what works and what doesn't work. Marketing can be a black hole for everyone in terms of your capital access. So to choose the right marketings that have worked for you in the past, I would invest heavily in those. You're going to see a change in the volume of preventative as well as restorative care with all of the issues with aerosol and those things which we covered in our article recently published with Jasmine, Dr. Jasmine. And you're going to see likely more emergencies. Some offices are going to thrive, some offices are not going to make it, but a lot of them are going to thrive by providing emergency care as a starter. And unfortunately, in our system, insurance checks, all those kind of things are no longer existing if they haven't come in yet. So it's a true startup situation. So capital expenditures should be very wise. When we did those startups, we usually start with 1 chair, 2 chair, 2-3 days a week, maximize the schedule with a what we call a rock, sand, and water column, where you have all of your money generating procedures in your rock column, and then the denture adjustments and the fillings and the different and all of the consults and the easier things on the third column. But you have to maximize your rock column in order to get back on your feet, especially since those revenues will be driving the practice. So a little bit about the history of the Global Summits Institute. All of our ventures go back to this organization, including the extraction, the International Extraction Academy, the Global Implantology Summit, the world's top 100 doctors, the G20 Global Summit we did last year, as well as our new venture in partnership with GOMA that's known as the Global Interdisciplinary Summit. This is a peer-to-peer operation. We often get asked, what is a peer-to-peer operation? The reality in our industry today is that third parties, such as insurance companies, big pharma, management entities, supplies companies, are constantly trying to interfere or get themselves involved in the details of our practice, interfere with the patient-doctor relationship. It's understandable because our business is a very lucrative business. Many management companies have caused tremendous damage to our public image and the trust that patients have instilled in us and our autonomy. I remain unsure if these third parties have caused more damage to our industry or this currently ongoing pandemic. Organized dentistry has let us down time and time again, and the independent dentists are still the vast majority of practitioners. This virus that has expanded across the United States as well as Europe continues to grow, and awareness by our peers and independent practitioners is very, very important. We need to create more peer-to-peer systems that enable our colleagues to stay competitive and level the field. So peer-to-peer system started in the financial industry some time back and has exploded worldwide, and concepts of blockchain and decentralization, what they deem as a concept of this decentralization, where two parties can interact with each other without a third party being involved in the transaction. We aim to create similar models of peer-to-peer information exchange and to enable and empower our colleagues that are out in the field practicing by themselves. And as you will notice, there are no financial interests or sponsors with our event. Everyone is donating their time, all of the speakers. And we are very thankful for them coming to the table to pass on knowledge and information to our college. colleagues. So a bit of the history on our institute. The Global Summits Institute started with the International Extraction Academy in 2014. It was a procedure. I'm very fond of surgeries and always enjoyed them in dental school, but they were underthought. And a lot of the organizations out there are teaching implants and more complex procedures, but we wanted to focus on the foundation and help our colleagues take them from essentially the ones that are interested in surgery, creating a bridge into more complex procedures such as wisdom teeth, as well as implants and those kind of things. Our concepts about extractions and extradontia in general has changed. It's the #1 procedure, most performed procedure in the world today in dentistry, and it is very prudent that we do them. We can't really afford not being able to provide this service. I'm going to go ahead and switch to some websites that I would like to share with you guys as we continue throughout this scenario. So more information can be found on the Extraction Academy at extacademy.com and on our online series, as well as our workshops. There is a self-study area, which holds a tremendous amount of videos from the first Global Implantology Summit, which I will explain very shortly. And there is also workshops across the country, and sometimes we do them also internationally, and we would be glad to come to you if you're interested in your country to conduct these workshops to take our colleagues to the next level. We really cannot afford not doing extractions in our practice, especially the simple ones. So please feel free to find out more about that. So what about the Global Implantology Summit that followed 4 years later in 2018? For instance, in the United States, we have 120 million plus individuals running around with at least one missing tooth. That is 500 million missing teeth in the United States, and we only place about 1 to 2 million implants. We really need the support of our colleagues. Only about 10% of GPs place implants. And if you look at the numbers internationally and worldwide, they're very disconcerting, to say the least. You're looking at 2 billion plus, and it's a silent epidemic. Only 10% of GPs do it. There's not enough oral surgeons and periodontists to care for these patients. I highly urge you to become interested in surgeries, and it all starts with extractions and extradontia and how we view buccal plates now and different techniques, and making that a better situation for subsequent restorative care. So it started with a simple idea of creating a toolbox for our colleagues to get the information they need from some of the leaders in that industry. And we managed to bring in about 50 speakers from 40 different countries, and ended up with about 500 participants at this event. And more information can be found on the GIS website. The following year, we did a G20 Executive Summit in 2019 that resulted in formation of many international relationships that have flourished since, and they continue to grow as we add more of our colleagues with similar mindsets to this enterprise. 2020 World's Top 100 Doctors in Dentistry was created in 2020. It was more about, again, marketing, again, sampling, where we discussed it in the marketing earlier, sampling clinicians that would be able to come to the table from a multidisciplinary approach and bring information and knowledge to us. It's an example of a peer-to-peer system, and any one of us can create them in various capacities by using technology and the goodwill of our colleagues in this profession. So a little bit of history about that. Basically, we are continuing to wanting to inspire and empower our colleagues. There is no financial interest in this venture that we launched early this year. And we have had a great response from tremendous following and friends and colleagues, and we continue to create these peer-to-peer systems as we go along. After the top 100 doctors in dentistry was launched, we became familiar with our good friends at GOMA that that came to the table and had similar missions as we did in creating knowledge exchange and reaching out to other organizations. They have done a phenomenal job in the last few years since their inception in 2017 in representing medical and healthcare associations across the world, currently operating out of 20 countries and having over 151 committees and board members. And you guys are welcome to come onto the GOMA webpage and learn about their values, missions, and goals, which are quite a bit concurrent into about what we are trying to accomplish on the dental side. And they're doing it on a much larger scale in the medical industry. So I found their goals to be very noble, value-driven and efficient stewardship of resources to generate a lot of exceptional care with the information that they provide to our colleagues, the courses, the journals, the different boards and societies. It's a very admirable organization, and we are very happy and glad to be partnering up with them. You're welcome to visit the different URLs and actually understand what GOMA is all about, what the Global Summits Institute is all about, to learn about our mission and vision as we proceed in our endeavors. Here I have provided you guys some links on goma.org, and please feel free to visit those and learn more about all of our different endeavors. Very good. Here I'm going to switch back to a little bit of general information about the Global Interdisciplinary Summit that we are here all for. So again, we are doing this complimentary. Everyone and anyone can watch these sessions daily, about 2 or 3 sessions a day. And sometimes there might be more, one over the next course of the 6 weeks. The mission here for this particular event is to maximize information exchange in a multidisciplinary approach, peer-to-peer, without borders. So the event was originally scheduled to be held in November in Los Angeles. But due to the current pandemic, we decided to take this matter live online, where we can reach a tremendous amount of our colleagues, as well as eliminate the idea of travel, a venue, and do this in an efficient and effective manner. So here we are. We're starting much earlier than November. We have a lot of our colleagues at home, and they are watching this as we go along. Wanted to give some shout out to all of the members of GOMA that have spent countless days and nights working on this project and preparing the infrastructure for us to be able to launch. And also give an introduction to our board of directors who have helped facilitate the Global Summit Institute one by one shortly, and they will also be speaking for this event. Let me go ahead and share my screen here, if I may. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and go back to our Board of Regents. So the Board of Regents was formed at after the Global Executive, the G20 Summit, where we came together in designing some of these ideas and progressing to the next steps of our endeavors. The Global Summits LLC and Top 100 Doc and GOMA got together in producing this Global Interdisciplinary Summit, where we bring in all of the different specializations, the general practitioners, and create an environment where we can maximize our information exchange. Myself, I'm the founding regent. I'm not part of the top 100 doctors. However, the other board members are, and we'll introduce them very briefly here. Dr. Ioannis Skopoulos is the founder of the World Academy of Growth Factors and Stem Cells. And he has created a very nice organization out of Athens, Greece, and is very active in the community. Most of you guys likely know him from lectures around the world, from seminars, workshops, and we are very fond of having him on our board. He has more degrees than I can count off, but I invite you guys to go to the website and learn more about his background and what he has brought to the table. Dr. Raquel Zita, the lady in red, follow the red on Facebook with tens of thousands of followers, joined us. She's the queen of the board, and she brings a lot of joy to us and a lot of knowledge as a world-class surgeon, and we are very grateful to have her with us. Dr. Arun Garg, the co-founder of PRP, a $40 billion industry now, has joined us. He's one of the top educators in the world in implantology, and he's brought tremendous knowledge, expertise, and everlasting friendship to the table with our colleagues on our board. He has been very efficient in helping us bring our ideas together from decades of experience since his time as in the oral surgery department in Miami. And we are very thankful to have Dr. Garg with us. So one more thing, Dr. Zita is from Portugal, lovely country. And we have members from all over the world, particularly all the continents that are participating in this project. Dr. Kevan Javid, a leader in phlebotomy space and also growth factors and stem cells in dentistry. Lots of research, lots of articles, very visible in the public space, does a lot of courses, the multi-practice owner. So is Dr. Garg. I don't know where they find the time to do all of that they do for this industry, but they are very effective in their endeavors. Dr. Behnam Shakibai, microsurgeon, is very big on microsurgery and microscopic use for minimally invasive procedures. He's a leader in that industry. And we are glad to have him. He trained and educated in Germany, practicing in Iran, and also very active with our group. Dr. Atala, a wonderful friend from the past, very active with us, originally from Egypt, now practicing in California, is heavily involved in the immediate implantology space, where he will also provide a lecture during the next few weeks, which we'll also go over the schedule shortly. And thank you for joining us in that capacity. Dr. Hakemian, where do I start with Dr. Hakemian? He's the founder and CEO of Dentulu, which is a world's new concept in terms of the space of teledentistry and the apps and cameras and all of the things that he has done in enabling us during this COVID times, and also has been there since the beginning of the Extraction Academy and continues to support and help us as we grow our endeavors worldwide. Last but not least, Dr. Sandeep Singh out of India with the Sahaj Dental Academy. Everyone knows Dr. Singh. He's involved and liked and loved by many across the world. And every time I travel internationally to go to a conference, somehow he pops up out of one corner or another and is there. So his presence is very well known, and we're really thankful for Dr. Sandeep's contribution to our growth in this industry. And again, thank you to all of the members and committees of GOMA, including Mr. Rakesh Kumar, which is a very energetic and capable multitasker who has brought us all together for these different endeavors. Very well. So the mission is to bring some of the most well-known lecturers in dentistry, as well as the individual specializations of dentistry, to our platform in the next few weeks to create maximum information exchange. Again, we have 2 to 3 sessions a day, and they will be listed off the website. And I would like to start going through those so everybody knows how to register, where to register, how to join each session, and how to obtain CE credit if that's what you are going for. If you go to gomha.org, you can go to the Events Summit, Global Interdisciplinary Summit. Let me go ahead and share that screen again here. And we go step by step. So you will find on the top, under Summits, you can go to the Global Interdisciplinary Summit 2020. And you will have a schedule there listed daily as to the topics and who and when and how and all of that. The times are usually Indian Standard Time or the US time, be it Pacific, Eastern Standard Time, Central Time, or Mountain Time, or Pacific Standard Time. And they will be listed in this column for the US as well as for India, which is only one time zone. Next to each of those, you will find a registration link that you can click to register for your CE. So if you're on our current site right now, anyone can watch these complimentary on our Facebook page daily. But if you end up on the, if you would like to have CE, you have to register, and there's some verification steps that need to be followed, and there is some small administrative fees to get you guys the CE certificates and also the certificates of attendance and those things that GOMA will post there regularly for you to be able to do that. So you can visit goma.org and be enabled in that capacity. I'm going to briefly go to the speakers list here, just giving you guys idea. There's close to 80 speakers listed so far. There will be more added as we go through the days to come while we're working on the logistics with them. You will find tremendous amount of knowledge in this sheet here that will be translated to you from every aspect of dentistry that we could think of, where one of the representatives can come on board and engage with the audience and bring new ideas. One after the other, you're going to find new technologies, for example, with Dr. Forrestein, 3D printing with Dr. Scherer, autologous autografts and real bone building with Dr. Frank Zastro, and ceramic implantology, which is becoming more and more readily available. Let me see, we have another question here. Yes, I will get to those details shortly about today's and tomorrow's steps. Dr. Amos Yahav, for example, on bone cements and alternative methods of bone grafting, and on it goes. We have from every specialty, perio, ortho, endo, pros, restorative, practice management, all of the different aspects of dentistry where we would like to bring information that is, again, free, and you can use that information to do as you wish with it. Most may agree, some might not agree. However, it will open dialogue between us as we try to empower each other and enable each other to do better for our patients, for our practices, and stay competitive in the market as we face all of our challenges and the third parties that are always trying to get into our operating rooms and interfere with our patient-doctor relationship. Autonomy is a very important thing in dentistry. The simple way of putting it is autonomy equals equity equals autonomy equals freedom. That means you have to be an owner, you have to be able to make decisions that trickle down to your chair side, be it from material selection, staff selection, kind of CE that you want to take, the materials that you choose, the staff that you choose. All of those things have an effect of what happens chair side, and we need to be in charge of that. And the more knowledge you gain from our colleagues of mistakes and problems they have done or had in the past, the more enabled you will be to not make the same mistakes at a much greater cost and have a tremendous life to be able to do all the things you wanted to. Management is a great thing, but it can be replaced with one good office manager and some good staff. So staff selection is very important. That can do as you wish if you're a small office or a medium-sized practice and you're practicing on your own. But also the knowledge you need to render care is important, and that's a majority part of this Global Interdisciplinary Summit, where we will be addressing more clinical topics, but there will be some practice management matters also addressed later. So over 70 countries are participating in this. There are different time zones. Some will be coming on at various times. We will try to keep them in the mornings on US time, and in the evenings in the India time. But we'll make accommodations for other clinicians accordingly to come on. And I hope you guys can join as many sessions as possible. So the next 2 days, let's go ahead and go to our schedule for the next 2 days. And we will start here in about an hour and a half with Dr. Dave Singh, who will be talking about craniofacial sleep medicine, an introduction for dentists. He has some incredible technologies that he has developed, lectures all over the world. And these technologies relate to snoring and stem cells and some very exciting topics to look into. And today we also have Dr. Robert Miller, who is heavily involved in autologous growth factors in oral implantology, and is no stranger to most, as he lectures at major events. And he has been on a marathon lately, actually, late lecturing. Looking forward to seeing Dr. Samuel Lowe tomorrow. Dr. Samuel Lowe is the former president of the American Academy of Periodontology. He has a lot of information. He lectured with us also at the Global Implantology Summit in 2018, which was one of the most well-received lectures at that event. Very likable clinician, and I think you will find that session very interesting if you tune in about the latest trends and technologies, and particularly peri-implant diseases. Followed by I'm a very big fan of Dr. Howard Fran. He has impacted the dentistry unlike anyone I know. Literally thousands of podcasts, is a fountain of knowledge. And I asked him if he would do a topic for us for dentistry in post-COVID era. This will be a very good session to tune into tomorrow. He has interviewed many, many leaders of industry in the last few weeks, and has tremendous knowledge to share with us as to what he envisions we are going to be facing as the restrictions are lifted and we get back to our practices and our lives. I highly encourage you to tune in to listen to Dr. Howard Fran and also Dr. Paul Quillette, which is an orthodontist, one of our fewer orthodontists in the lineup, but also a very well-known individual who has been practicing for decades. And he has shared some ideas with me in the past about what to expect in terms of equipment requirements and PP, the protective gear that we're going to need as we go back to our scenarios. And I invite you guys to start looking at all of these, from short implants to acceleration of your businesses by Dr. Letran, halitosis matters with Dr. Hamid, who is a representative from the GCC countries, and Dr. Cardelli, and on it actually goes. Hang on, I believe we have a couple of questions here. Yes, so I'm going to switch back to the website here by sharing the screen. Again, if you would like to register, there will be a link on the very right side here under registration where you may click in and go through a process, and something like this will pop up where you will put in your information, and I presume you if you have any of those memberships such as GOMA, there'll be some perks there, but you will go ahead and fill this out. And there will be a way for you to send in screenshots throughout the event to secure your CE. But we have to make sure that the individuals have participated in the event and that we have a way to show that you were in the room. So for those that want CE, we really need to have you register in that capacity to be able to get that. And that will be listed usually the day off on the site. So you can register that way and join us to the seminar that way. Or you can just simply go to Global Summits. Let me go through this because there's been a lot of questions on how we get to the Global Summits. So if we go to, let's go here to Facebook. If you type in simply up here in your search box, Global Summits, this one right here where we're live, this is where you want to click. Just basically if you type in Global Summit or Global Summits with an S at the end, I believe with an S, you'll only get that one. And you click on that daily and you can come into the room and you can see us here live and very simply watch all of the webinars free of charge and participate in that capacity. So it will be usually the ongoing webinar will be on the top session where you can see, and it's a bit of a lag there, but you will be able to join us daily and participate in that scenario. More renowned speakers will be added. We have about 20 others in queue that will be processed in days to come. So keep an eye out at the the GOMA page, where all of them will be listed and updated on a daily basis. And bear with us as we are undertaking a tremendous task here. And there's a lot of people working around the clock to make this possible for our colleagues across the world that can join without having all of the obstacles it takes to be part and seeing some of their favorite speakers present on topics of their interest. Well, that pretty much sums up most of the questions I've had in the last few days about how to join, where to join, how to get CE. Let me go ahead and switch back. And I hope this answers your questions. This video will be remaining live here. You can tune in anytime and review it and kind of get an idea. And we would like to invite you guys all to join us as we undertake this this tremendous task between the Global Summits Institute, GOMHA, as well as the top 100 docs and other individuals that are helping technicians, the doctors. There's a whole army of doctors on the GOMA side that are working on this and making recommendations and also helping us with the logistics. We are grateful for this partnership, and we look forward to creating more and more opportunities to do these type of events for our colleagues as we grow in this industry. One more thing I wanted to add before getting this session completed. You can go to the screen. On that same Facebook page, if you like to message us, you're more than welcome to send us questions. And one of our members, that is one of our editors or moderators, will gladly answer your questions on that side if you want to send us any information or questions that you may have in the days to come. I invite you to attend and look forward to being of service to our colleagues and to make this a successful series of webinars. And thank you for coming in for the orientation. And I wish you guys much success and prosperity as you go back to the workforce and you do better than you have ever had in the past. Positivity and mindset will be key, and a little bit of hard work to get us back into the routine of things and help our patients and friends and colleagues and families and all the things that we do in this world. Thank you so much for the orientation session.
Dr. Shah, we actually have a lot of regards coming in on Facebook to you. So maybe Dr. Sangeeta from Germany is sending you regard, Dr. Sandeep, Dr. Wajib. Maybe you could say them something.
Yes, thank you. I'm familiar with some of those doctors as well. They're also great supporters of our mission and vision. I thank you for joining us and sending regards. We have very, very good intentions with all of the projects that we have done. As you may see, it's a completely different environment where monetary gain has not been our objective since 2014, where we have continued to do these events, donate our time, donate our free times away from family and other things in life to help be of service to our industry. And we will continue uncompromisingly doing that, regardless of whatever may come. So our mission stands. It has stood since 2014, and it will continue to stand while we enable younger colleagues, fellow colleagues, and bring information that will help them in their careers. And thank you for the regards. We're all servants of the profession, and we appreciate the recognition by our colleagues of what we're trying to accomplish.
Thank you, Dr. Kinor Shah. It has been actually an amazing lecture for everyone, and quite giving a beautiful introduction to your academy as well as the missions you are seeking towards. So I would like Dr. Sandeep sir also to give your views regarding your being there in the world's top 100 list. So
yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Hi,
Dr. Gagan here.
It was wonderful. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes, yes, Dr.
Yes, sir.
Sandeep. How are you?
Yeah, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I was sharing your the video and the inaugural speech onto various platforms on Facebook, and I was there all the time. It was wonderful, wonderful way you presented the GIS concept, and it's a great, huge task for all of us to have more than 100 people, all the top class dental surgeons from all around the world to be there at one single platform. And a fantastic job, a wonderful introduction. Wonderful introduction. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr.
Dr.
Sandeep. You have contributed your share of time in the last few years in bringing all of this vision to life. And yes, it's always impossible until it gets done. I'm sure you might be familiar with that saying. And we're going to get the job done, and it takes dedication. And these doctors, not that they are the best in the industry, they're part of each of these industrial specializations that have accomplished and contributed tremendously to the profession. There's no way to gauge the best doctors in the world, but it is a peer-to-peer platform. It's a concept of a peer platform that you're very well aware of from all of our daily and weekly board meetings and participating and bringing your ingenious to the team. So we thank you for that and all of the other board members that have participated, and let's continue staying on point and getting the impossible accomplished.
Okay, definitely, sir. Like, we are actually expecting a huge audience for this platform for sure. So, moving ahead with this, we'll be having our next session at 10 p.m., most probably according to Indian timings. And I would like to request every participant who is seeing this to have a screenshot of every speaker. So as it'll be a proof for everyone, and registering that form will be a proof for every participant for their attendance. So with this, I would like to ask Dr. Kinor Shah sir to end up with this session.
Yes, thank you so much again to Gomha and Regents and everyone that will be working on this project. Let's create an environment of maximum information exchange for our colleagues in the days to come, days and weeks to come. And thank you for joining the orientation. Any questions you guys may have, please contact us on that Facebook page so we can promptly address them. Thank you guys and have a wonderful day.
So with this, we'll move on to the end of the session. Being sitting here at home, especially in the corona pandemic, and sitting just in your comfort zones, listening to all those top doctors with their grateful knowledge to everyone, will be quite great, sweet for everyone too. So with this, we'll sign off for sure. So, Dr. Shah, shall we close it up?